Hi, welcome. In this video, we're going to be talking about the $224 strategy that helps any local business rank in the organic search for the related search services. So basically, I'm going to teach you exactly what you can do for your local business website to generate as much leads as we were able to generate for this single page website, this got a website for just $224. And over a course of a year, we're able to generate 16 leads from just form fields, meaning people filled in this form, they didn't even call this number because this number is actually not valid. So if you own a local business service and you're tired of throwing money at Google Ads or Facebook ads every month, this video is really for you. I want to tell you about something that happened last year. I was talking to a plumber in Dallas who was spending $1,000 every month on ads, $2,000. And you know what he told me? He said half of the calls he got were people price shopping. They wouldn't call they would call 3 or 4 other plumbers and ghost him. He was stuck on this treadmill every month, same story, pay the ad bills or the phone stops ringing. And if Google decides to raise the price, too bad, you pay or you lose. Does this sound really familiar for your business? Maybe you're in HVAC, roofing, landscape, electrical work, or any other kind of service, dentist, family attorney, divorce attorneys, uh, mechanics, name it. You know this pain, the cash flow stress, the anxiety of wondering if next month's ad budget will even work. And what if I told you there's a better way, a way that costs just $224 to set up? And once it's working, you own it forever. No more paying per click. No more wondering about ad costs going up. So how we're able to generate this number of leads? And some of you might like 16 leads in an entire year. That's way too small. 100% guilty. That's way too small for most local businesses to go on with. But if you stick with me in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to be able to multiply this number of leads, because we're able to generate this number of leads spending just less than $100. And we're saying you're going to spend $224 to get similar results, but you could even get more than that if you spend more. But $224 gets the ball rolling, and if you multiply that by the number of cities you serve, which we're going to tell you exactly how to structure the website, how well to go about it in order for you to get best money and return on investment. 16 leads, by my calculation, I'm looking at anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000 worth of leads. That's what we got right here. For an homeowner just filling out this form, these numbers were not called because the numbers on this website does not work at all. So if peradventure we add a tracking number right on this web page that customers could call, this could generate us. It could actually double the amount of leads, because you kind of ask yourself, when was the last time you actually reached out on the website and you filled out a form when you've seen a contact form right there? You just look for a business you can quickly call and get a quote out there, something that is uh, that is kind of like an emergency for you. So you just quickly call the number, and with that, you're able to get to the business owner right in time. So basically, in this video, we'll talk about the traditional way people usually do things and what's working right now. So if we're to break this down by the traditional approach that does not work again for most local businesses, when you pay for ads, you're actually basically renting the traffic. So once the traffic comes in, then you're now able to sift through who is actually interested in your service, and you go down the rabbit hole of trying to negotiate pricing and everything in order to close them. The second you stop paying, this leads stop coming. It's like renting an apartment, you pay every month, but you never own anything. And here's the worst part. The leads you get from ads, a lot of them are not even serious buyers. They're clicking around, comparing prices, wasting time on the phone. And mind you, every click that happens, so let's say someone searches for rain gutter installation. These are all the ads that are showing up. The moment I click on this ad, whether I buy or not, Google charges me per click, not even per conversion. So you need to understand the amount of persons that will need to click on these ads in order for them to actually call you. Sometimes there are a lot of things that goes on behind the scene. If your page is slow, if your page is It's not responsive enough. People just click away, but Google has already charged that click that already happened already. And so for serious business, they spend anywhere between twelve to $24,000 a year on ads. That is $2,000 multiplied by 12. That's 24,000. At the end of the year, what do they have? Nothing, no asset, no ownership, just receipts from Google. It is right for me to tell you that, like, this is the bread. This might be the bread and butter of your business, guaranteed. You're definitely doing this. I'm not saying you should stop paying for the ads, because this is the bread and butter of your business. This is what keeps your business running. This is what keeps food on your table. Keep running the ads, but channel a little bit of profit into building an asset, preferentially for yourself, such that when people search for these services online, you show up high up in the search place of Google, like position number 1 through to 3. Those are the ones that get most of the calls. Usually, after the map section for a local business, because once someone is searching for your service, there are usually 3 packs that actually show up. The first section is the sponsor section, which you see right here above this local business map pack directories here. Then you now come back to the maps section. You see another 3 to 4 businesses right here. That's around 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 sponsored, 5, 6, 7. So the homeowner or the person who's searching for that specific service needs to go through all of these 7 ads, all of these 4 ads, including these 3 businesses that are listed here, to get through to 1, 2, 3 here. So it's a lot. So by the time they finish scrolling through here, either the person ranking this position 1 or 2 are the persons they actually call, if they are not able to get through to any of this. So usually for a local business, you want to ensure you have a Google business listing such that you appear in the top 3 for the relevant search for your industry or for the niche in which you service. This is a very sweet spot you want to show up for. And I am by this looking for local business. If you're watching this and you own a local business and you're not showing up in this top 3 for the service that you render in your city when you type it on Google, please leave a comment in the description below with your location and your niche, your service, or fill out the form in the description with the link below. Let's get in touch, let's talk and discuss exactly how we can get you ranking here, so I can also use it for case study for my YouTube videos and help more clients also. So basically, we want to rank within this position number 1 to 3. You still get a lot of the clicks. There are a lot of persons who tell you AI this, AI that. Fine, all of this works, but you ranking here still get you leads. This is evident from the number of leads I was able to get. From here, 16 leads. Not much, because I didn't even spend so much on this on the website. Less than $100, and we got 16 qualified leads. Up to, if we're to pay for this lead, like I said, anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000 is what an actual business owner is going to pay for these leads in total. So basically, this is how we're able to generate this number of leads. Then we'll go now to the case study itself, exactly how we're able to do this and how you can do this for your business. That is why you're here in this video right now, trying to understand the $224 website strategy that ranks any local business. I mean, any local business, be it plumber, be it HVAC, be it dental, be it lawyers, be it whatever. $224 gets you started. You'll start seeing a bit of ranking signals then. Depending on your location, depending on your competition in the market, then you can now pump in more money to get more results. So let's quickly go into exactly what I did for this website. The first thing we did was get an exact match domain. What is an exact match domain? An exact match domain is basically you including the service you render, the core service you render in your area that brings you the most money. You add it, plus the location you service. Like in this case, you can see I placed Gutter Company Fairview. Fairview is the location, and this is the service. This is the similar thing we did with this one. So gutters is actually what we serve, and the city in which we serve is then TX representing the state. So you just need to have a variation of the core service you render plus the location in which you render it in the domain. You can buy any domain, .com, .net, .org, whichever one works fine, so long you have those exact match, because Google kind of tends to favor them. This is evident when you see that we are outranking a very big page like Yelp, because they are not using their own page to Yelp.com does not target this particular service, go-to service. So it's an inner page. It's another page on their website that target this. So for we are using our own page directly to target the specific search query that users are actually actively typing into Google. Gutter installation, gutter company making, gutter contractor making. We are targeting those various keywords on our own page. So Google tends to give us that ranking boost. They see us as an authority in the space. They see us as a local business owner, local to that particular location. So that's the strategy we use right here. The second one we did was ensure that the title, this is the title here, you also indicate that the title has the service you render, all of the services you render. Like here, we render gutter installation, repairs, cleaning, replacement. So you want to outline as much of those um, core service and related service you render, and attach the location in which you render the services in on your title tag. You can see it here also, title tag. This is exactly something you're saying on a Google search query. Another thing we did again, the third thing we did again, was implement this same strategy on the head one, on the headline tag, which is the heading one tag. This is the major heading of this website. On the heading one tag, if you go to the heading, so you have heading one, heading two, but on the main heading one tag, this one basically signals Google exactly what your page is all about. You want to put the same kind of services you render on this place and attach it with the location in which you service it. And it has to sound natural. It does not have to sound vague because you want to try to trick Google. Google knows. Then the fourth we did is the first paragraph immediately after the heading one tag. You want to naturally include your keywords, your service you render plus your city you render, naturally infuse it within the first 30 words of that paragraph. So that is the fourth one we did. Then the fifth one we also did was list all of the services we render in that particular location and explain briefly what these services entail. In my case, I made too long uh, a service page, but it's not something I should have done. So if you were to do this, maximum of at most 2 lines, a paragraph is okay to tell you exactly what you do. Anywhere between 25 to 30 words is actually okay to explain that specific service. Then you'll now link out to a dedicated specific page for that service that you render. Right now, this is a one-page website, like I said, but in your case, you could do it multiple pages such that gutter installation has its own dedicated service page, gutter replacement specific page, gutter repairs specific page, gutter cleaning specific page, up to gutter guides installation, specific individual pages for each of them. And you kind of narrow down on what kind of service the user is expected to receive when they come to your enterprise. Then another thing we did is talk about why people should hire us. Why would people choose our company over other companies? So you want to mention things like being insured, trusted, recognized, you do quality service, you have lots of reviews, lots of testimonials. So everything that kind of build that authority and trust within your niche is what you want to put down in this section. So you also want to have more of like a testimonial section when people talk about what kind of service what kind of service they receive from you, what's the quality of that service. Then you also want to include a frequently asked questions. This is a must because you want to be as informative as possible, not only for the user who's coming to your website, but also for Google. Like you can see right here for person searching for gutter maintenance service in McKinney, there's this section they call people also ask questions. So people who are actively searching for this, Google is giving you the trick. It's giving you everything you need to include on your website right on the search page. For persons typing in gutter maintenance in McKinney, these are most likely questions people who are searching for this particular keyword are actually also searching. So Google is giving you the signal. So any website who is able to mention all of this within their content structure, Google tends to understand that, okay, this site has everything a user needs to convert every information they need to be able to understand the service it is they are getting from the company. But in this case, you don't want a generic question like how much it costs to have my gutters cleaned, or what month is best for cleaning gutters, or how many times a year should the gutter be cleaned. You want to attach your city you serve. You want to make it local to the city you serve. So in this case, you want to have how much will it cost to have my gutters cleaned out in McKinney? What month is the best? What month is best for cleaning gutters in McKinney? How many times a year should gutters be cleaned in McKinney? Is gutter cleaning necessary in McKinney? So you want to narrow that particular question to the locality that you service. Then the last thing we did was kind of give Google or even the users markers that this is the areas we serve. So we want to put landmarks within the content structure of our home page. Or also you could also include the zip code. In our case, we included the zip code. So some persons might really want to look for services within their zip code, and you want to appear for those kind of services. And basically that's all we did for the website itself in building it and kind of optimizing it to be able to show up for Google. All we spent here was just a domain name. The entire content process was written with AI, ChatGPT. I had a subscription earlier on before, so I didn't pay for that. So I didn't include that in the cost. The website building itself, I built it out myself. It's not the most fancy website you want to see, but it does get results. So that's why we are using it. So if this is a template you think you like, also I have it already pre-built. I can just implement it and swap out content and even the colors and make it relevant to your business that you are running currently right now. So basically, this is all we did. $15 for the domain. That's all I remember we spent right here. Then for getting it ranked on Google, for getting it to show up for relevant search terms like gutter maintenance service in McKinney, gutter contractors, gutter company, gutter installer in McKinney, professional rain gutters, McKinney. The other thing we did was now get this website listed in multiple directories. We recorded over 400 directories we got this website mentioned in. You could do this yourself. I have a list of these. You can just leave me a comment in the description below. I'm going to send you the document, a link to this document, and you can go through this yourself and get your website listed on all of these directories, and then you get them indexed on Google. But for you to save time and energy and every other thing, you want to hire someone. I actually hired this guy on Fiverr, Mohammed Wahid. For $75, you get 400 local directories, and that's all we spent. $75 plus $15, that's $90. That's all we spent to get 16 qualified leads, form field leads in an entire year, at least 2 a month or so. That's how we're able to generate this number of leads, of which a very new one came in October of this month, 22nd of October 2025. So basically, that's how we're able to generate this number of leads. But in your case, what we're going to be doing to actually get to this $224 is after we have built out the website, you want to host the website. So that will cost maybe $24 per year. I already have an hosting myself already. So that could cost you an extra $25 a year. Then for submitting on your local directory, $75, like I mentioned before. Then you want to issue out a press release immediately after you do citation of exit, 3 weeks out after building citations and getting them indexed. You want to also build out a press release. I use the service Kingswire Plan. The $70 service guarantees you 400 placements. So meaning your website or your company website is being mentioned in 450 blogs on the entire website, including Fox Media, NBC Media, CBS Media. Then you get to put this trust badge, like as seen on CBS, Fox, Yahoo, whatever it is. So it kind of builds that trust for when a client comes onto your website. That's one of the advantages, and it also sends Google this ranking signal that you are an authentic business, you are out for business, you're trustworthy. Then Google, some of the AI tools kind of like pick up on those press releases that you issue out. And the content for the site, like I said, was basically written by ChatGPT, free version, but you could use it $20 version for more enhanced content. And the total cost we spent, if you were to do this yourself today, will be $224 across all of these things I had mentioned. I said I launched this website down in November of 2024. This is the domain, registered in November of 2024. And by the first month, January of 2025, we got our first lead. That's around 3 months out. We got our first lead. So this is really homeowner looking for gutter installation service. This could be your industry also. It works similar way because I have done a case study with this. That's why I'm using this gutter installation to tell you exactly how you can do that also for your business. So whilst you're running ads, you could also have this one under your belt and figure out a way to reduce the ad spend. Another thing is most of you run ads to multiple locations that you service. So this now brings us to the multi-site micro system strategy that we implement for business owners who decide to work with us. But you can also do it for yourself. Like I said earlier on in the video, Google tends to rank an exact match domain, meaning a domain comprising of the service you render plus the location in which you render it on. They kind of tend to rank this website high on Google, like you can see from this one here. It's ranking higher than Yelp. So as a guest building inner pages, which also work, you can see Yelp here, it has an inner page that targets gutter services in McKinney. It's ranking number 2. It means it works. It works. So you could also target similar keyword here like gutters McKinney /location /Allen, which is the city you service on this one. But you can also have multiple of this website all ranking. It costs you $224 to get started. So you can build out one this month, the next month you build out the second one, the third month you build out the second one, the fifth month, until you've built them all out. So it gives you that ranking boost. So at which you're able to generate between 2 to 5 leads per month. That is 14 to 35 leads per month across the number of locations it is you're servicing. This could happen within 4 to 6 months of you running SEO. SEO takes time. So if you're running ads, keep running your ads. If you want results immediately, please by all means keep running your ads. But for the long-term survival of your business and to reduce those ad costs drastically, you want to invest in local SEO. So basically each site has the same structure. Unlike our case study that has just one page, that's the one page which is the home page. For the services you want to render for the microsite, you want to have the home page targeting the main keyword, the main money keyword it is you render. You want to have a service hub page. You want to have dedicated service pages. Like in our case, we have 7 dedicated service pages, including repair, replacement, cleaning, etc. Then location hub pages for nearby town and kind of blog posts answering common questions that will help convert a user into making a purchasing decision. So why does this work better than other sites? Like I said, Google rewards homepage that targets specific local keywords because most of the citations we are building, the links are pointing onto the homepage. The press release we issued, the links are pointing to the homepage. So you might want to ask, why would you want to stick with us for a long term if you were to do this for yourself? If you do this for yourself, it costs you $224, but with all the headaches of trying to figure out exactly how the content structure is going to look like, what service are you going to put on top of which service, how are you going to interlink all of these services together to ensure it forms this kind of silo, spider web structure within the eyes of Google, so Google is able to trust your business in the long term. Then if you work with us, we optimize and manage your Google business profile. Even if you don't have a Google business profile, we walk you through the steps on how to set up a Google business profile and get it verified and get it ranking. So we basically do all of the stuff for you, get those things done, fill out the entire Google business profile, make it as optimized as possible for you to start collecting leads. Then once the lead starts coming in, you want to start asking people for reviews. We'll also help you implement a review system that automatically collects review for you even while you sleep. Then we'll implement a missed call text back for your business such that you're able to track the number of leads you get. You can also do marketing to them at another time. So for this gutter company now, if they do a gutter installation, for example, you could schedule out emails to go out to now issue gutter cleaning for services for homeowners who need gutter cleaning, maybe periodically, maybe twice in a year. or 3 times in a year, as the case may be. They also implement an AI chat widget for your website to automatically generate and book clients for you on autopilot. Then we'll stay on top of every Google update. When things change, we adjust to your site to ensure that you maintain this ranking. So our offer here, it's more of like you come work with us and we build out this entire system, a microsite strategy for your system with little to no cost to you exactly, and we follow through exactly the same way we've done in this video to give you this result. Mind you, if you have a Google business profile, this is me telling you, come on board. Let's do it. We're offering a risk-free trial. You only pay when you see results. The same results, the same system I've just described here is exactly how we're going to do this for your business. All of the citations and press release helps build your Google map identity and makes it rank on Google. So don't just waste that entire money on focusing on things that don't work. Come work with us. If you like this video, if you think this video is helpful for you, if you want to reduce your ad spend, if you want to get consistent leads, if you want to own an asset that generates you leads on autopilot year after year, book a link in the description below and let's build out the system for you. If you enjoy this kind of video, or if you have questions whatsoever, leave a comment in the description below and I'll make a video about this comment, and we'll see you in the next video. Yeah, bye.